Hey guys, this is Megan from You Go to Beginning. This week we have gotten our chickens out. They are enjoying the grass, but now we have their old coop and old area to deal with. So we're gonna clean that up. We're gonna show you how we utilize it, what all was in there, and we're just gonna clean up an area that needs to get done. It is a beautiful day in February, which means that we'll get some nasty weather later, but it is beautiful. We're gonna enjoy it. These chickens are super happy, which is so awesome. But now we have to go deal with the mess that we left behind. So this is our old garden space. It was stationary, it worked well. It is right here beside our garden. And for a lot of reasons, it worked great to have it there so we could throw scraps to the chickens and things. But I don't know if you can tell how this front area just got really bogged down and muddy. And it does slope just enough to the back. So every time we'd put wood chips in, the wood chips would float to the back. So that back area is amazing garden soil, all broken down wood chips. It is awesome. And this front area is a muddy, gross mess. So we're gonna get some wood chips. The kids are down there. Let's see. Caleb and Ellie, I think, are working down there. They're gonna fill up the trailer with wood chips and then they're gonna bring them up. We're gonna cover up this muddy mess and let that start to break down and just kind of leave it here for a while. We're gonna take off this gate and this front panel so we can get in here a little easier. We're not gonna stress about moving the coop right now. We just need to deal with the garden stuff because I want to get this compost on my garden. But that's where we're at. This is what we're dealing with. It worked well for a time, but that time is over. So I am excited to get this all cleaned up. It smells pretty good, so we're gonna fix that today. He can do this better than I can. He's practiced more than I have. Do you have a shovel? No. Okay, so get that out. So all we're doing is pulling it up right next to the fence. We don't want it to go through the fence too much and we don't want to spread it out too far. We want it to be nice and thick. You can definitely help me go shovel some more. Oh, the wagon again. Cool. Alright, so grab your shovel. We're going to go scoop some stuff out of the back of the chicken coop.
Okay, Mom, will I get money?
If you work really hard. How do you get money?
Working.
Working. Are you going to help me work?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mom, can I get the shovel?
We'll see. We'll go over there. Alright, so these two have been getting mulch. And they're good to go. And Miss Esther over there is filling my bucket. I get to just stand here. What are you working on, Damien? Cattle panel. Cool. So I get to salvage a couple of cattle panels to put in the garden. All right, good job, crew. I'm debating on whether I'm going to be obnoxious and ask you to get another load to put right there on the edge, because the edge of this garden always gets like totally run in by all the grass. So just like a really thick edge. I'll help spread this out with my big old rake if you guys go get another load. Does that work?
You want another load?
Yeah, I think I want a really, really thick load on the edge because the grass always creeps in real bad. So, whew. So it's been an hour or two. We've been working really hard. Let me show you what we've done. The kids have been running mulch, and so I'm here in the chicken coop. The sun is just in my eyes. We've got a bunch of mulch down on the ground here to help with any smells. And then we actually had the kids bring me a load for the edge of my garden. The grass creeps in like crazy. So I have a load there, and I'll just spread it in a really thick edge border. And then we are still working to get some of the really, really great soil out of the back of the chicken run, which is creating another problem because we're removing that soil. And so I think we're going to need to fill it in with wood chips to make sure we don't create a water problem back there. But I've got some of the dirt in the garden and it looks fantastic. So I'm going to go show you that. And yeah, we're going to keep working. It's a beautiful day. I'm so thankful. Okay, so this is our trellis. So we use this for our sugar snap peas, and then we used it for cucumbers, and it worked great. I was able to sow the cucumbers in as the peas were still growing. So we added a thick row of mulch compost out of the chickens under here. And then this is going to be where I put my tomatoes. I had them here last year and they did really well. The spacing in here worked. The thing I struggle with is always getting the 2 rows of tomatoes too close to each other. So I'm trying to get them really far apart this year and just getting them a little bit longer. Maybe grow slightly fewer plants, but have them be a little bit healthier and a little bit easier to actually harvest. So I'm trying to get this in here, and then my garlic is growing over here. So there'll be a big walkway here, and yeah, we're just working on it. Hopefully this will work out really well for us. So we are ready for lunch, huh? Are you ready for lunch?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's actually, well, I won't say hot. I will not complain. It is February and it's beautiful, but I'm sweating. We've been working really hard. So we got a whole bunch done. We have more to do, but we're going to go in and get a lunch break, and we'll come back out if we can rally the troops for another round. But I would love to get some more accomplished. This is some big stuff that needs to get done. We can actually already come plant sugar snap peas. Now that we've got the chickens out of the way, they won't scratch everything up. So just taking care of this space, finding a beautiful day in the middle of winter. We got some work to get done. Look at these happy ladies. They're all out. This is my group of buff Orpingtons that were in our Johnson Scovich tractor. So they're kind of their own little thing. And this is why I put them here. All this hay built up is from when the goats were here during our crazy snow. And they waste so much hay. But it would have kept them warm. So I'm letting the chickens scratch that all up, spread it all around. And then the ladies are going in there. And we've got our main group here. We finally got to count our chickens. We have 26. I think there's 17 of these old, they're not all old, but the original batch. And there are 9 of our buffs. I've been in, I've had lunch, I'm back out. We are going to get back to work. I think I'm going to switch gears a little bit. I might get the kids to do some more mulch for me, but we're all getting a little tired of shoveling. But I have a bunch of pruning to do. It's probably not best to do it when it's so warm, but it needs to get done, and I just can't care that much. So I've got an elderberry, this giant elderberry behind me that I need to cut way down, and I've got some peach trees that are just a complete mess and way too far into the garden. So I think we're going to cut a bunch of those branches back to get them out of the way, and we'll see what else we get done. Pretty much I want the whole darn thing cut about that height. Honestly, probably lower. If you need these other clippers, I'll trade you. I would go lower. That's how low I went this last year, and it was crazy town. It was still too big. There you go. Goodness, we have worked really hard. One big thing, we cut down this big cedar tree. We had left it originally to provide shade for the chickens, but I think I'm actually going to take advantage of this weed grass-free space and try to plant some maybe big squashes or pumpkins or something in here. So we cut down the tree. Caleb and Damien and Cole, they all helped with that. We're trimming some branches off an old tree, and then we brought in this fresh wood chips to cover up the chicken grossness. And then we cleared out the soil from back here. So I've cleared out a bunch. The soil is awesome. We might actually have to bring in wood chips to just make sure that that doesn't get all gross again, but it shouldn't. And then I'm so excited. I did not expect to get all this done. We did a big thick layer of wood chips to help keep the grass out. We got all fresh dirt out of the chicken run, compost here so I can plant my sweet peas. There's these 2 rows here, which are where I put the peppers. And we've got rows set up for the tomatoes. So I am all set up. I would like to come in and get some wood chips along this edge. It's a real thick barrier. This edge here, I fight the Bermuda grass really, really bad. It creeps in each year, and I don't want to lose this corner of the garden. So I'll probably come back and get some more wood chips. We got this elderberry cut way down. These things grow so vigorously. This thing will grow 6 feet tall. And right now, I mean, it's up to my thigh maybe. And then I also cut back this peach tree a bunch so it does not come into the tomato space. So the tomatoes will be here and the peppers down there, and my garlic is here. So I'm really excited. I was getting a little overwhelmed about this garden season, but man, one beautiful day and a family willing to help me work makes it awesome. All right, we're back at it again. Girls, what are we doing? Planting peas. Yes, so they are doing the peas for me. And since we got these beds ready, I am going to stick some carrots and it's tatsoi. It's like I think it's a lettuce cabbage hybrid type plant. Anyway, I'm going to plant some of that in here. These are going to be for bell peppers. And so carrots and tatsoi should be able to kind of go through the rest of winter and early spring before I get the peppers in the ground. So we're gonna get some stuff planted and see what happens. Okay, so this is what we planted. Tatsoi, I've never grown this before. It is a brassica, but it specifically says that it is extremely cold tolerant and shines through tough winters. So I'm hoping that by planting it now, we'll actually get some. And the carrots were some old packets that I had left over, a carrot garden blend, and M.I. Gardner's rainbow carrots. And so we've done the rainbow carrots before. They're really, really fun. So we planted these. Hopefully we'll actually get something. I'm definitely a firm believer in just plant a million things and figure out what works. We also got our sugar snap peas. So we saved this bag of seeds from last year's plants. And the girls planted this whole 16-foot cattle panel, only like an inch apart. And we still have tons. So we might come back, and then if there's any trouble, we need a new hose. If there's any trouble, we will just come back and replant more. But Ellie's got the hose hooked up, which is obviously leaking. But we'll get these watered, and then I think we're gonna finally call it a day.